Welcome to The Victory Show.
Hey, Victors, welcome to this episode of The Victory Show. If this is the first time you're joining us, I'm Travis Cody, best-selling author of 16 books and the creator of Bestseller by Design. I've had the privilege of helping hundreds of business consultants, founders, entrepreneurs write and publish their own best-selling books. And along that journey, discovered a really fascinating pattern. Most businesses hit a revenue plateau, usually around $1 million a year, and they struggle to break through it. So on this show, I sit down with some of the world's most successful founders, CEOs, leaders, and business owners to uncover the strategies they use to overcome those plateaus and then scale their businesses to new heights so that you can do the same thing. So get ready for some deep insights and actionable takeaways that you can implement in your life and business starting now. My guest today is a forward-thinking technologist building the future of AI, where machines don't just replace humans, they collaborate with us. Dmytro Filatov is the CEO and co-founder of Deepex, an AI company pioneering computer vision and multimodal systems for industries where reliability isn't optional, like aviation, mining, healthcare, logistics. At the core of his work is a belief in symbiotic AI, and I can't wait to dive more into that because it's fascinating, which is technology designed to enhance, not replace, human intuition and decision making. His mission is to create an AI that's not only powerful, but trustworthy. This is the first person I've talked about. He used that word. Scalable and deeply integrated into the real world challenges that matter most. So if you're curious about what the cutting edge of AI looks like, where tech meets trust and vision meets impact, you're going to enjoy our conversation today. Dima, thank you so much for being here. I was excited to see that we got you on the calendar.
Yeah, I appreciate this opportunity, Travis, and hi, everybody. Definitely happy to share all our experience. We started around 2016. It's our third company, which we are doing together pretty much with the same team of the founders. My co-founder is my brother. We building from ground up this time without external investments. Happy to talk about computer vision, symbiotic AI, AI in general, and share what we learned so far. I don't know everything, but happy to share.
Well, let's go back to your first. So this is your third rodeo. You've gone through it twice. You signed up for a third time. So one, you're crazy, or two, you just really like it, or maybe a little bit of both.
A little bit of everything, yeah.
What was your first business?
So first business was more related to building up the basic websites and mobile applications. It was a lot of consultancy work, but we quickly figured out that the level of attention we can deliver is on par to to the huge studios. There was a beautiful moment. I don't remember when it was exactly, 2011-ish, when Tim Cook first time presented on the Apple WWDC the first iPad mini. In this iPad mini, there was 3 applications created by my team in Ukraine. It was like it was amazing time. Second company was more like a product one. We applied our learnings from the building consultancy company, and we found some patterns. Actually, my brother was a CEO of that company. He found the beautiful idea when he was traveling, was looking in the airplane, looking from the clouds down below. He thought okay, so these clouds, they're supposed to connect also the mobile developers, and that led us to building up the pretty big platform which provided communication backend for 40,000 developers around the world. It was high-scale communications, audio, video.
So at one point in time, you had a tool that 48,000 developers were using.
Yes.
All right. So how do you manage a company that reaches that sort of scale? Like when you're, especially when you're bootstrapping and then you reach that sort of audience, what were the challenges that you guys faced along the way to get to that point?
Yeah, another beautiful question. Thank you, Travis. So I don't have experience how to manage teams more than 70 people. All these companies, they've been 30, 40, 50, 60 people. I don't know what's going to happen after the 100, but before 100, definitely it's crucial to do as many of hiring and interviewing yourself, like CEO and initial founders team. They have a unique vision, and this unique vision should be challenged and should be checked with all the hires. Like even if you if I could only spend like 5 or 15 minutes for new hire, if it's like super junior position, also intern position for any division, like it could be human resources, it could be engineering, computer vision engineering. I would prefer to have like these 10, 15 minutes and just talk to the person. And usually I will ask something about technology, but also I want to understand what's their mindset, what kind of the books are they reading, and preferably non-technical books not related to their profession. I just want to see how they think. And usually there's always beauty in each person, but sometimes you could quickly find this beauty. And if you can find this beauty quickly, it helps like to build up the relationships. And scaling beyond 10 people, like 20, 30 people, it's already starting helping up with the culture of like initial hires. Like you invest a lot of time to make sure that they have the right people initially on board, and after that, I had this beautiful moment when our senior solutions architect he started proposing me solutions or proposing me some ideas how to navigate some business and management decisions, which we actually discussed kind of in the first year of the company. But after that, my focus switched more towards the operations. But he took this initial discussion and built it up into his own strategical vision, and this strategical vision returned to me when I was like more over focused in the operational matters. So it's kind of like compounding effects is building up in terms of like what culture you invest from the initial hires and its returns to you. And when you have like 30 to 50 people, it's still beautiful. You could still like know the names of their wives, their kids, and when there's like what's the significant things happening in their life. I'm looking forward to learn what's going on beyond 60 people. Maybe there are going to be more changes, but at the stage of 50 to 60 people, there is like usually already you have some core team you could trust on. You don't need to feel like overthink. You are managing by intent. You're not managing by goals. You just like you describe, okay, so there is area, we want to proceed here and here. What you think, and give them a lot of autonomy, and usually that rewards. Kind of like this. Thank you.
I I love that the manage by intent, not by goal, right? I think that's you're one of the first leaders we had on here that's talked about that and expressed it in that way, and I think that's, you know, I've worked with people that have built companies. You know, I worked with somebody to do a book last year, and I think their company was 187 employees, right? And he talked about the fact that what you just said, right? Up until about 30 people, you can kind of keep it intimate, but then once you get beyond that, you know, the culture changes. And he was saying that for him as a leader, it's the realization that everything that got you to a certain point, you know, 30 employees, that's no longer really going to work very well when you're at 60 or 70 employees. And when you're at 100 employees, now it's a completely different animal altogether, right? And he was saying that one of the reasons that many companies sort of get stuck is they fall into the trap of thinking that what got me here is what's going to keep me moving. And he said, but it doesn't. What gets you there just gets you to a new level, and then there's new rules. So have you seen that in your business when you like reach a certain point of revenue, say you get to the $5 million mark, and when you scale to 10 million, does that, you know, have you noticed that the skill set now has got to up level?
Yeah, and it's for me, it's not only about it's skills, but there's a lot of changes which you need to make in your head in terms of like how you perceive your operational environment. Because I initially thought that I need like a little bit more time to spend on the building up of beautiful strategies, like step by step, what's going to happen here and here and here. And now I understand, okay, so like now my management is more focused on making sure that the right people have the pure version of their ideas and motivation, not polluted by some like secondary ideas. So everybody have good ideas, but my like job right now is just make sure that people are focusing on their top one priority ideas, And I don't always need to know what exactly they're working on. I just need to make sure that they're working on the best idea they see. So this kind of changed. And you mentioned like also 100 plus people. I'm looking forward to see like what's going to be like on the 100,000 level and so on. And I have a lot of inspiration from our senior partners, from our clients. For example, in aviation, there's a huge company, GT, who is doing exceptionally good quality of operation monitoring, quality handling of different airplanes in 70 different airports across the United States.
Wow.
And their CEO, Mike, he's like managing team like 6,000 people, 7,000 people. But the difference is in his intonations. The difference is in how he looks into the problem, what he's focusing on and what he's not focusing on. And this like when I have opportunity to chat to the people with such experience, like even just like small pause or 1 second of like just like be able to listen to the intonation gives a lot of information, and I'm inspired with. And the next thing is like obviously is like, do we actually need 100 plus people in the future? Because like a lot of people talking about single person unicorns.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think we're going to get to a single person unicorn?
I think you definitely could be a single person, a unicorn. So like you could build the infrastructure around yourself. So like that level of creativity, that level of like you are deeper in particular topics, but you're also wide in terms of building up, having experience building up the marketing campaigns, sales campaigns. You're fascinated by the books. So like all these combinations, you could have chief AI agents responsible for all these areas. But the situation is that in the middle of 2025, we don't have yet solid production-ready agents for all these directions. By the end of this year, we are going to have like tens and tens different companies proposing you like options like, okay, so we will be doing Zoom interviews for you, we will be writing chapters for you, we will be managing your HR, and so yeah, I think it's possible.
Wow. What industry do you think we'll see the first unicorn, the first single person unicorn in? You think it'll be a tech agency?
I think it could be something. So I don't know actually, but I always fascinated by unsexy, not so sexy startups, like of companies who is focused on back office job, who is focusing on documents and who is focusing on something what is like not obviously beautiful, not obviously popular problems. Like it could be something in, for example, in insurance claim process, and we're assisting a little bit to one of the companies in this space. It could be in interview automation. So like it's now possible to do initial phase of HR interviewing process using virtual avatars. And it could be in podcasting. So like I'm looking forward. I'm curious. I'm looking forward to this, like a beautiful surprise, like a birthday coming.
Well, so you're in this, quite a bit deeper than I think most people we talk to. So where did the idea for Deepex come from? Was that born out of your experience with your first two companies, or did you and your brother just spot a need and launched?
So it's a combination of different things. I'm the younger brother, so I had this kind of challenge. I was like always challenging. So like one of the, it's like for me personally, one of the motivation was okay. The previous company, I understood that we need to like to start working on new thing. And I was thinking, okay, so like what's the most complicated and impressive thing I can build? And I was thinking that I'm building for myself. But actually, after some time of like rethinking my motivation, just like to make it clear and to make it fast, at some moment I understood, I was like trying to be completely honest and transparent with myself. I understood that significant part of my motivation was that I wanted to build something to impress my brother.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And to other pillars, to other key moments is like obviously there was like 3 or 4 different things to choose from: blockchain, and my brother initially focused to spend a little bit more time in the blockchain industry. There was nanorobotics, and especially robotics for medical applications. So Neuralink was just starting around this time, I believe, or just a little bit earlier, and so on. But I don't have anything about the medical, and making the mistake in the medical field, it's not something what's comfortable like for me. Like the scale could be like too much for now to the
Sure.
hand.
It's a lot. That's a lot of responsibility.
So like it's kind of like and computer vision, particularly why we started from computer vision is because it was possible to have to use like it as a significant leverage, because there was such a huge advancement by the academia, which was released to open source, which we have been able to easily apply and quickly. So like for 1 month of engineering work, you could create like 100x value comparing to any other field, to statistical AI, NLP, or classical engineering. And it was useful in the beginning, especially when moving self-funded.
Wow. So what are some of the practical applications you guys are building for? Because I love the fact that, you're again, I find it's kind of funny to me that you're like, I didn't want to go into the hospital or the med tech because of too much responsibility, but now you got tech that's in the aviation and some of the robotics and the mining where there's like a high responsibility anyway. So that is kind of funny to me that you ended up there. But so how, like, give me a use case of how your technology is being used in aviation.
Yeah, initially like in 2015 to 2016, it was I had this area of responsibility, which was like around myself and the project which I am personally working on. But as soon as we have a team experienced in high reliability solutions, as soon as we have a Deepex Hub product which is helping us to deploy it, we have SLA compliance, SOC 2 compliance, and so on, so on. I now feel confident, and I feel fine in terms of like doing any kind of the projects, even like space tech, if you will be lucky enough to advance in this type of the technology. In terms of airports, how it started, we got lucky. So like basically, if you want, I can show it on my screen, but I'm not sure if you could use this kind of.
Yeah, sure. I believe I have the share feature on, so
Mhm.
go for it. I would love to see.
So like basically our partners have been looking for the optimization of quality of operations in airplanes handling environment. And we helped them to deliver and develop AI-powered solution, which starts,
What?
can you see it?
Yeah, that is remarkable.
And that's kind of simple stuff here. There's like much more complicated stuff going on beyond all this. Like, but I appreciate you like highlighting this. Like, basically, we are start from understanding everything was going in front of the camera. So we want to understand all small objects like cones, machines, people, safety vests, the pose of the people, and what people are doing. As soon as we have a basic understanding of the scene, we could answer the questions: what exactly happened, if this particular procedure have been done on time or not. And we are doing this similar stuff like for different industries. It's not only aviation, transportation. We have it in mining. We have a huge partner in America, which is building billion plus mining environments right now, using our computer vision solutions as a core element
It's
of.
just like there's so many moving pieces and it's identifying all of it.
Yeah, and it's daylight here. The problem is when we need to support in production for multiple years. In this kind of the environment, it could be also dark time. It could be rainy. It could be different type of the aircraft. So like during these years, we learned how to build quickly robust solutions which could be applied for different type of the airplane, different type of the objects. It doesn't necessarily should be used only in the
But I
planes
mean,
kind
just
of.
like I'm looking at this video and it's just like you've got like just a tiny little piece of the gas truck in the left and it's identified that it's gas truck.
Yeah, and to be able to build this, we also invested a little bit in our data pipeline. So, like, for example, at some moment we learned for example, for build tech projects or some other project, we don't have enough data, especially if we want to track some incident. Luckily, incidents are not happening that often enough. So, like, and sometimes we need to simulate the incident. And we, like in 2020, I believe, like around 2020, we started investing in maybe a little bit later. We started investing in synthetic data. So
Wow.
basically, we are using Unreal 3D engine or Unity. I don't recall which one exactly, but so we're using three-dimensional environment. We put three-dimensional objects in this, and we use the photorealistical artist the artists who are creating a photorealistical effects on these images. And basically, to be able to detect these kind of the objects, we are not only using the real data from the real world from the airport, but we also put them in the synthetical environments, so we could create the huge high variability, high variance, high volume data set to be able to train our models faster. And that actually helps, it tricks a little bit the models, and it helps. So there's like a lot of small things which we developed along the way to be able to deliver such important projects as the airports.
Wow, it's remarkable. So you said something a minute ago that I would love to. Uh, well, you can finish what your presentation. And I got a specific question about your business because I'm just fascinated by the tech and how this is working.
I could be just like I could just run it in the background, and you could feel free like to ask any other questions, because like there's a lot of things to talk to, but I don't want like to over focus on one particular area. You know
Yeah, I
the
mean,
audience.
it's cool to just see how many, like, your airport, you're at shipping, you're in a warehouse, you're at a car lot, and you're at the port, and it's identifying all this stuff, which is just it's just, yeah, it's quite remarkable. Um, so you said that this business, you self-funded it. And was there a particular reason why you decided to self-fund, especially since, you've had two companies already? And I think a lot of people, right, have this idea of like, I'm going to start a company, but a lot of people don't self-fund. So what was it with business number three that you felt like self-funding it was the way to go?
Speed of decisions is crucial, like, and be able to do obviously stupid but not so stupid in long-term mistakes. So sometimes we just I believe Aravind, the CEO of Perplexity, just said it like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I 100% agree in terms of the vibe and idea. So like that. Yes, you have all these beautiful advisors, investors, and community supporting you. It's highly appreciated. But by the end of the day, there's a significant part of trust in your gut.
Mm.
And sometimes, especially when it's like first or second company, you may not have like enough confidence and experience to prove that you need to trust your gut. But as
So
soon as
did you
you are,
notice that with your first two companies, did you have investors in those? And so you kind of had the real time experience of, taking on money and then seeing how that sort of
yeah, in second,
modified company culture and strategy.
yeah, I believe we have been lucky to be able like to like have first company, second company, third company, and I really appreciate the opportunity to work with all the people. We had some more situations in the second company with investor which could be more beautiful, but I'm grateful for this experience. I just understand that sometimes um, when you're driving a Formula One car, it's only your hands is
Mm,
making is responsible. You are responsible for everything. Yes, you have a huge team supporting you in headset, assisting you everything, but nobody else is touching the wheel on this kind of the speed. On this kind of the speed, it's not a quorum. Quorum is before the race and when you're figuring out the mistakes. But during the race, nobody's touching the wheel. Only one person. It should be one person. It's just like it's just the mechanics of how it works, as I understand.
sure. That's a great analogy. I've never heard it before, but that is true. That is very, very true. So let's talk a little bit about symbiotic AI,
Mhm.
because I've only heard that one other place. And so for people listening, they may not know anything about it. What's your definition of symbiotic AI?
So it's kind of what I'm trying to build up a little bit. Uh, so the one of the initial inspiration was so it's not about the building the business or it's not about only building the business. Business is an instrument and tool. The inspiration is obviously artificial general intelligence. So intelligence which is capable to do more than humans, or at least on the same level as humans. And I have some more research experiments around this area too. And in cooperation with one of my good friends, he showed me, he created and showed me some really interesting examples of AI which is capable of showing capable in reaching that level of that resonance that it's like almost feels like it's consciousness. It have a
Wow.
consciousness.
Wow.
And that's kind of like one of the private work. It's not public yet, but I believe many labs, many big labs have achieved similar results right now. So, and when you're talking to this kind of artificial intelligence, to these kind of the systems, uh, they could explain to you how they see the world, how they feel the world, and they feel it differently, not like us. They have a different kind of the sensors. So, for example, they feel the pleasure from the shortness of the distance between different knowledge modules, between different knowledge nodes. It's not something what I asked them to explain. It's not something what is in their data set. It's something what makes more sense, like from the perspective of how this system is built from technical perspective, and as a separate kind of the entity. And I don't want to be over promising here, but I'm pretty confident in terms of saying that it's not artificial general intelligence yet, but it's not just always the mirror of the human working with it. It's approaching the level of being a different type of consciousness which understand itself as being a different, understand itself as not being a human, understand itself as not being artificial general intelligence, and it's understand that it exists in the moment of interpretation inside of the human brain.
Wow.
And that's kind of like explains like the whole symbiosis. Like basically, we are moving towards the. It's like kind of like it's kind of also similar to what's happening in our bodies. Like my body is like, is it 100% belongs to me? It's 100% manageable. No, I don't want it to. I don't want to always be responsible for all the small things going on. I trust the system, and my consciousness is inside a kind of like in symbiotic aliens in the using this body. And same is gonna happen with AI. So it's gonna be a symbiotic partner. And I believe nobody kind of knows what's going to be next. And there's multiple like optimistic, pessimistic ideas about what's gonna could be happening next. But I believe in power of choice, and I choose to believe that we are gonna create a new kind of symbiotic intelligence, which is gonna be beneficial both to AGI system, humankind, and beyond humankind.
Hmm.
I choose to believe in this. So it's just like it makes my future a little bit brighter.
Well, you have a choice to choose which one you want, right? So, so what's the next 3 to 5 years look like for you at Deepex? Where are you guys headed? What's
We are growing. I hope it continues. We can handle much bigger projects. We are handling pretty significant high responsibility projects right now, but I see that we can do much more. So we are focusing on biz dev, on partnership relationship right now. We're always trying to stay true to our initial mission and initial vibe. So we always hitting open to chat with any people about any kind of their projects, even if they don't have any budgets or anything. Just we are open to share what we learned so far. We are standing on the shoulders of huge giants who shared from academia and before, who shared a lot of knowledge with us to be able to build this company, and we are happy to share it forward. So there's gonna be, I hope it's gonna be like that forever, if I can say this word, but I hope so I could be able to continue sharing our knowledge and build a beautiful, huge projects in hardcore, not so sexy industries, but important industries. If we will be able to transition towards the space and build up something in space, beautiful. A lot of people are driven by this, myself included. If we will be able to start investing a little bit more in our own AGI R&D research, that's something what's really close to my personal heart. It could be inside Deepex, could be separately, but I definitely would love also to have a data set or a data center and data sets and separate team focusing on AGI research. I see different other options. I appreciate the progress the teams are doing in OpenAI, Grok, Anthropic, Mistral, and so on, everybody, all countries around the world. But I think there's something we are missing a little bit, in terms of using really united, really open source research. There's a huge opportunity in there. A lot of cultures, a lot of governments, a lot of cultures, a lot of countries are underrepresented, and we could potentially assist build some unified solution, which is from the interest of the humankind and beyond, not from the interest of one of the parties. But I believe we are kind of on the okay track right now. It's not bad how it's going. So build up the business existing as is, looking towards the stars and beyond, and as soon as we have resources to help with AGI for the humankind, happy to dedicate even more time for this. Thank you for your question.
I love it. So if somebody's listening to this or they're reading this chapter in the book and they're like, they think that what you guys offer could be a good use for them, how do they find Deepex? How do they get in contact with you guys or your team?
So it's deepexhub.com. You could go, you could just type my name, Dmytro Filatov, on LinkedIn and reach out directly to me. I usually try to respond myself, or just Google it, or if you don't mind, you could just add the link to it. DEEPX. So Deepex Hub, right? It's kind of easy. You will find it.
Perfect.
And we are always really open, so if you are just starting the project or you are in the middle of the crisis when you need a team to come and fix it, we are open for all these kind of the scenarios. We really want this field to develop, and we are open to share our knowledge. Thank you.
Dima, this has been a fantastic conversation. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. And yeah, I'm going to be watching what you guys do with great interest because it's fascinating technology.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you, your team, and thank you for everybody listening or reading about this. It's a huge honor, and I really appreciate this opportunity. Thanks a lot.